The radio hissed. Nothing but static. Sergeant Lena Ramirez crouched low beneath the moonlit canopy, her squad silently mirroring her movement. 6 of them, shadows in the dark, waiting for the last green flash on the satellite map. Tracker confirms them, 7 friendlies inside the compound, southeast quadrant. Ready, whispered tech specialist No, her fingers dancing across the tablet. Before the guards would move their captured comrades to another location, one they'd likely never return from. Lena exhaled, her breath fogging the night vision goggles. They had only hours before dawn. Minimal lighting. Quiet takedown? We screw this up, they die. We don't screw this up, they still might. Behind her, Corporal Jenkins tightened the strap on his suppressed rifle. Cheerful, muttered Lieutenant Kazem, scanning the perimeter through his scope. 2 sentries by the south gate. Ramirez nodded. Quiet all the way. We're ghosts tonight. The capture just 48 hours ago, their sister squad had gone dark on patrol. An ambush. Reports were sketchy, local militia had taken them deep into the red zone, a village-turned-fortress run by a warlord who'd eluded capture for years. Rumors swirled about executions and torture. That wasn't going to happen. Not on Ramirez's watch. 5 out. Then we run like hell, one gasped, barely able to believe what he was seeing. One wrong step, one miscue, and the village would light up like fireworks on the 4th of July. Approach they crawled through the ravine behind the enemy outpost, rocks digging into elbows, hearts pounding louder than the crickets. Ramirez, Jenkins, and Medic Taylor moved toward the hut where the prisoners were supposedly held. As they reached the outer fence, No clipped a wire. No alarm. Sirens wailed. Searchlights roared to life. A child's voice echoed, a reminder that not all within were enemies, just trapped. She gave a quick nod. Kazem and Jenkins slid through first, disappearing into shadows. Ramirez fired until her clip was empty, then sprinted with the others. Ramirez whispered, 10 minutes in. Inside the fortress, if the Blackhawk wasn't there, they were dead. The village-turned compound stank of oil and iron. Generators buzzed. Men laughed too loudly around a fire. Kazem screamed into his headset, "We're hot. We're hot." The team split. Kazem and No looped around to disable the watchtower cameras. They found them. 7 beaten, cuffed soldiers slumped on the floor. Ramirez? Blades in the air. The chopper descended behind a cloud of sand. "Yeah, it's me," she said, kneeling beside him. "You're going home. Not all of them are walking out." "But, yeah, we did." Taylor's leg was bleeding. Jenkins was out of ammo. No had a graze on her neck. Taylor went to work, injecting painkillers and bandaging wounds. Jenkins pried off the cuffs with bolt cutters. Suddenly, footsteps outside. Voices. The firefight, they'd been too slow. "Go loud," Ramirez said grimly. One had flatlined twice on the flight. Another had lost 3 fingers. Kazem's suppressed shot dropped the first intruder. But the silence was shattered. "Just don't ask me to do that again. Move." "Cover left," she screamed. Gunfire ripped the night. Taylor dragged 2 wounded out. No hacked the gates remotely, jamming them open as RPGs streaked across the sky. One of the rescued soldiers stumbled, clutching his side. Jenkins scooped him up like a sack of flour. "Don't you dare die on me," he shouted. They raced through the darkness, bullets biting at their heels. Extraction, a dusty hill marked the landing zone. Then, a whoosh. Ramirez pushed the last soldier up the ramp as No fired back into the trees. The pilot didn't need to be told twice. As they lifted, tracers followed, exploding around them like fireflies on fire. But they were alive. And they had them. Aftermath at the field hospital, Ramirez watched as doctors rushed her rescued comrades into surgery. Jenkins limped up beside her. "We got them out." She nodded. No appeared, her neck stitched and bandaged. "Command says they'll debrief tomorrow." Want to put us in for commendations? Kazem grunted, lighting a cigarette with trembling fingers. Let them. Ramirez looked back toward the landing pad, where fresh evac teams were unloading. They'll ask, she said. And we'll do it again. 1 year later. A small ceremony was held at the base. 7 framed photos, each of the soldiers they'd saved, now sat behind glass, under the inscription, "They were worth it." Ramirez, now promoted to captain, stood alone after the crowd had dispersed. Jenkins approached with a flask. "To ghosts," he said, raising it. She clinked it lightly. "And to coming home."